All Coulter's bringing a fake wrestling show to town.
No.
Yeah, him and his buddy.
How is Drew's Jiu-Jitsu?
Drew's got his own special style of Jiu-Jitsu. He's one of the fastest, like gaining knowledge of anyone I've ever trained, but he's done a lot of private lessons, he's traveled extensively. And just his means of being able to, have the time to spend on it. His jiu-jitsu is amazing. I had a lot of people at the last tournament, the first tournament I took him to. They were both the same time complaining about sandbagging my white belts and not giving them their belts. And at that time he'd only been training for 9, maybe 10 months. And he does. His difference in his jiu-jitsu versus the regular person is he's not waiting for permission to submit whoever he can. Drew's the kind of guy, he doesn't ask for permission, he just executes what he knows. And man, he's legitimately tapped me out a few times. A lot of it's lazy on my part because I'm like, man, it's just a white belt, what's he gonna do? He's so quick to the point. I think that's what makes his jiu-jitsu, extra special. Is he's in it to win it right away, regardless of who the person is standing across from him. He uses what he knows and he goes straight to the point and he lives and dies by it. It's kind of one of my philosophies. A lot of people, they don't, even they have the ability, the strength, the power, and they have a good technique, they don't have the temperament to go get it done.
Why do you think he's so obsessed with it?
He's an artist, first of all, so he, like music, the complexities of it is almost infinite. His ability to perform on stage and used to already being in front of people, that helps a lot. His wrestling background helps a lot. And then I think just the fact that he's an artist and he can take, that side of him that he's obviously very good at expressing himself. He expresses it on the mat very, very well. And he has goals, that's another thing. He told me right away, he's like, I want to be a blue belt in a year. And I'm like, man, that's impossible. He's like, I'm going to prove you wrong. And so far, in my opinion, he's going to make it. He'll be a blue belt in December. Unless something really drastic changes, he's going to meet his goals and he's going to push my belting ability, I guess. Like, I have to give it to him. I can't justify him fighting in a white belt division past another 3 months of time, and then I would be guilty of what those guys were saying, sandbagging, because I know his ability. In old jiu-jitsu, if you got a black belt in under 10 or 12 years, like, you were a fraud. There was no other way to do it. It just took that much time. Nowadays, people like BJ Penn, if you have the money, the assets, and the lifestyle to train more regularly instead of an hour or 2 a week, and you can train 12 hours a week, he was a black belt for 3 years and won the worlds, but he had unlimited assets, and the ability to train with the very best people day in and day out. 10th Planet, it's not someone I prop right to talk about high-level jiu-jitsu, but if you watch what they're doing versus all traditional jiu-jitsu, they have purple belts, 3 years, that are submitting black belt world champions, and it's not a mistake, it's the lack of the leg work and things like that. Drew's legs attacks are horrible, Ezekiel's are horrible in a really good way. So he already has the full body attack going on, and then you put the intention behind it. That's what makes Drew special in jiu-jitsu, all of those things.
You're good?
Do you think artists make good fighters?
I think artists make phenomenal fighters. The same thing, they're not learning it analytically, like A, B, C to D, and if you do them in this order, it'll be effective. They're creative, so they're putting their own individual spin on something that's time tested, you know, and I encourage that, especially here at the Grindhouse. My whole mantra is, like, I create individuals. If you fight one of my grapplers and you have another one two brackets later or something later on in the bracket, they're going to be totally different opposing styles. And I really like the creativity, and that's what makes the difference between, you know, really good people and people that, like, are noticed, I guess, in the industry, is their creativity. They take old things and they make them new. They take things that people have looked at for eons and they change the angle slightly, and it's a whole new ball game.
What do you think it is, the personality trait? Because one thing that we talk about all the time is, like, since I started doing jiu-jitsu, it's like drastically changed everything. Like, it's changed the way that I see everything. Like, my kids, mainly how I approach problems. Like, in the music industry, it's literally you always have this idea of how it's gonna go, and it's usually one shitstorm after the other. And what it's really helped me to do is be like, I don't even like bat an eyelash at the shitstorms anymore. I'm just like,
yeah.
The people that seem to progress fast have this brain that's just like, I don't know why, I just can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, people that are, like, hungry for information that's not Google based.
Right.
You know, something solid, physical, they can feel and, like, see the progression of, like, people like that are seeking something more than, you know, there's so many different personality types, you know, like, very few alphas can, because most alphas can't handle, like, getting beat, and if you train enough like you should in jiu-jitsu, you won't stick around because there's other people that can make you feel like you're not the alpha, and that really is hard on the psyche. So there's endless amounts of information, and it's a progressive sport, you know, like, it's still happening every day, every weekend. People are doing things with another human body that you hadn't seen before, or maybe it happened eons ago but it wasn't recorded, so we say, like, oh, so-and-so created this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for me, that's the biggest one, is like the bottomlessness of it. The other thing I really like about it is, like, good day, bad day, you know, like, I'll have a day where, like, for instance, at the tournament, you know, I left, choked 4 dudes in under 2 minutes, and I'm on the ride home, like, yeah, blah, 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 and it immediately hit me, like, right, but the second you get back to the gym, you're in a room full of dudes that can toy with you, and I think that's, like, the coolest thing. The other thing to me with jiu-jitsu is that it's, like, to me, it's beautiful. Like, it's this, like, it's different than other combat sports because of I think the artistry, and, like, you were talking about all the different personality types. I think that, like, each personality type has the potential to do something that no one's ever seen before. And it's because you're taking this thing that's becoming more open-ended. I think what makes Grindhouse special and different than everywhere else is this idea of, like, you hope that all of us get better than you at some point, right?
Right.
You remember the Hicks and Gracie documentary? I remember there's that scene where he's sitting on the beach and he's like, I just want everything I do to be art. I just want everything I do to be beautiful. That's it for me. Like, as a parent, as a partner, as a musician, as a painter, as a jiu-jitsu player, like, that's what I'm striving for, is, like, is beautiful. I think that was one thing that you and I connected on early, was, like, from the beginning of Satsang, everyone's like, oh man, you really got to get to Boulder, you got to live in Denver, you should think about Seattle or Portland. And I don't know why, I was always just like, no, I'm gonna work on my shit here and then we'll take it to all these places. Like, it's a day drive. Like, I can take this anywhere because it's me, it's inside of me.
Right.
So just like you with your jiu-jitsu, it's like, no, I can just go to California and bring my jiu-jitsu with me. Like, I don't need to live there. It makes me better at life. Like, I feel like the better I get at jiu-jitsu, the better I get at life. The more things make sense, the less pissed off I get. You know, like, I don't seem hiccuped, like I said, by problems. I kind of am just like, oh, well, there's a solution here somewhere. You know, like, there's this memory that I have when you and I were rolling one time where I was on the bottom and you put your gi, just like flapped it over my mouth, and you're like, calm down. And I was like, you're like, you can breathe, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, I can. What's so special about this place too is it's huge. Like this is like literally one of the craziest training facilities in the country. Like, I've gone to places that I was so excited to go, right? Like Vienna Brothers in Chicago. It's a legendary academy. And you go there and it's a mat that's like the fourth the size of ours. That's it.
Yeah.
There's like a bathroom, dressing room mat. You know, and the first time I walked in here, like that was kind of what I was expecting, right? It's just like a couple wrestling mats with a logo on them, you know. But there's a cage, there's an entire workout facility, there's an entire striking area, more pads than you could ever have used, you know. And what seems to be the thing too is this overwhelming loyalty to this place. And like, that's why I rep it so hard when I'm out there, is like, I love wearing my Grindhouse stuff to other academies and choking higher belts, you know. It feels really good.
Yeah, there's something about the vibe here. Everyone that visits, no matter where they're from, how big they are, what, you know, they do, they're like, it's just different here. Like, I don't know what it is, but keep doing it.
One thing I get a lot, because of the music that we play, people are like, what? So you're like, into this
and you beat people up?
yeah, and I'm like, well, I don't, like, as far as like globally and like foreign policy wise, yeah, man, I think like a non-violent approach would be a good first step, but like I can't deny that I'm like one chromosome away from being an ape either. So like there is this thing in me that like I just love combat, and I love it. I love fighting other human beings. I love the process of learning, and like I love the humbling thing of just like knowing that no matter how much I know, there's just no end to it. Like you're never gonna be at the pinnacle of any sort of combat. I gotta get this and this in check if I'm even gonna excel in this. Like, I gotta figure out why that breaking point exists and like get rid of it.
Very few rare individuals will push themselves past those levels of failure.
I love it. Well, we should fight.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do it. Do a warm up.
You bet. Let's do it.